Hi. In my last video, I finally arrived home after a month in a Russian COVID hospital. I really didn't have the energy or desire to look at the completed brickwork for my future garage. But it was nice to be home. Fortunately, within a few days, I started to regain my strength, and along with this, I regained my sense of curiosity. I was going outside for a minimum of about an hour or so a day in order to get some fresh air and sunshine. I did admire the work the bricklayers had done on my garage and could begin to even visualize in my mind being able to use it in the not distant future. Here are some photos of the finished brickwork, and as I promised in my first video, I'll break down the cost for the work which was done so that you can compare it to costs in your area. The cost for the brickwork was 320,000 rubles total, or about $4,450. Of this total, it was almost an even split. Materials cost was 158,000 rubles, or $2,200, and labor cost was about 162,000 rubles, or $2,250. Our contractor stopped by our house about 4 days after I returned home. He seemed genuinely happy to see I was back home again. He and I get along well and enjoy working together. I try speaking to him in my bad Russian. He tries understanding me. He explained that the roofing crew would start in about 3 days. I was happy to get this news. The wood was all here, and the metal would be delivered when we were ready for it, or when they were ready for it. The roof style was going to be a hipped roof, which is what my wife and I wanted. Well, if you're not familiar with different styles of roofs, or at least what they're called, here's kind of a photo of a hipped roof. Well, let's watch the roof rise on this garage. Day one was slow in the respect that they had to do the prep work. Shimming things is required, just slow going. But they still managed to install almost all of the ceiling joists that day. Day two saw the rest of the ceiling joists installed and a lot of the roof rafters. There's a lot of math involved in getting the angles just right. On the third day, they installed the fascia boards along with some other trim. In Russia, people like to have a variety of roof styles, so roofing crews need to be well versed. Let's go for a short ride nearby and look at some of the roofing styles used. Come on, let's go. The neighborhood we are driving through is located about 2 kilometers from me, well, as the crow flies, anyhow. It was started about 25 years ago, so you'll see a lot more mature trees landscaped than you will in my newer area. In any case, there are a large variety of sizes and styles. Driving through here seems like driving through many housing developments in the U.S. If you didn't know which country you were in, you probably wouldn't guess Russia. But what you're seeing is not uncommon here. A lot of interesting roof work on this house. You know, I've noticed before that you're keenly aware of items if you're currently working on a project. I mean, since I'm working on a roof now, all I notice when I drive around are people's roofs. I guess if I were building a chimney, all I would notice would be other people's chimneys. I don't mean I guess, I know because I've built chimneys. You may notice that there are far fewer trees in this part of our drive, which just means that this is a newer section and the people haven't really landscaped yet. Okay, let's get back to our roof build. Don't worry, we're about to have a look at day 4 of 6, so we're almost through it. Day 4 saw some more trim installed, then a plastic membrane with the strapping being installed in preparation for the metal sheets to attach to. On day 5, they started to lay sheets of metal on the roof, the metal facing trim for the fascia boards, and the metal soffits. Day 6, they planned to finish the job. They finished with the roof trusses and then worked with the various trim pieces that were needed. It rained hard several times throughout the day, but now they had a place to stay out of the rain. They finished the job on day 6. Now, they didn't install gutters or downspouts. This was done by another crew, which took less than a day to do this. Okay, here we have a beautiful backdrop where I can list costs for this part of the project. And that's my actual garage, not completed at this point. These two balloons, these two hot air balloons, belong to a couple of people who live out behind us in a different neighborhood. And they can be seen either singularly or together on many windless evenings throughout the summer. This is in Photoshop. Okay, our costs. Total cost for the roof was 296,000 rubles, or $4,145. And that's broken down as follows. Lumber cost for the roof was 80,000 rubles, or $1,120. Cost of the metal for the roof was 120,000 rubles, or $1,675. And labor costs for the roof were 96,000 rubles, or 1,350 rubles. Now, if you live in the West, something that might strike you strange is you'll see there's a crew of like 4 people, sometimes 5 people working on this project, and they're working on it for 6 days. Total labor cost for the roofing job was 1,350. That's for 4 or 5 guys for 6 days. So I think the labor costs here are probably a lot lower than what many of you are paying where you live. Thank you very much for watching this video. It may have seemed a bit technical at times, but truly living in a foreign country involves total immersion. The costs we spoke about are real-world costs we can incur, and although knowing how much a latte costs at a Russian Starbucks may be interesting, true comparisons require a lot of different categories of life, not just food categories. It would be great if you liked the video and subscribed to my channel. Maybe even hit the like button. I'd love any comments you might have. This is a new channel, and so far I'm not getting any feedback. Well, thank you, and пока.